Speckletail is a pale tabby she-cat with amber eyes. She and her littermate White Kit, who would later be known as One Eye, were born in ThunderClan Leighton Dostar's leadership. Their mother was Hairpounce, and their father, according to the official family tree, was Stagleap. They were born at the start of a harsh leaf bear, and they lost their mother early in life when she gave up all her prey to her kits. Specklekit and her sister were suckled by a queen named Rainfur, alongside her kits Dappлекit, Tawnykit, and Thrushkit. They all pulled through and later became apprentices and then warriors. After she became a warrior, Speckletail became mates with Smallear, and during Pine Star's leadership they had their first litter of kits, Golden Kit and Lion Kit. She was always protective of all the clan's kits, not just her own, and she tended to have a no-nonsense personality and a quick temper. Her kits, Lionheart and Goldenflower, grew up, and she served as a warrior alongside them for many moons, though Lionheart died shortly after becoming Bluestar's deputy. Speckletail's mate Smallear and sister One Eye retired when they grew old, although Speckletail remained an active warrior for longer yet, and she did have one second litter before retiring. This consisted of Snowkit, who was deaf, and, according to the official family tree, a she-cat named Mistlekit. Both of them caught sickness when it went through the camp. Snowkit had white cough, while Mistlekit had green cough, but both recovered. It's not clear what happened to Mistlekit, but later Snowkit was the only surviving kit of her second litter. Speckletail's temper hadn't improved with age, and she proved to be very judgmental when she learned that Graystripe had had kits with the River Clan she-cat. She claimed that the kits had bad blood due to being half-clan, and disapproved of her daughter Goldenflower suckling the kits. Speckletail was very protective of Snowkit and didn't make his deafness known to the clan, so she was upset when other cats, particularly Brackenfur and Cinderpelt, discovered his disability, and even more so when Bluestar told her that Snowkit would never be able to learn to be a warrior. She decided to prove to the clan that he would be able to become a warrior by trying to mentor him herself. However, that very day, she had just stepped away briefly when a hawk swooped down into the fire-exposed camp and snatched Snowkit. Speckletail tried to save her son, but was unable to keep her grip, and the hawk flew away. Speckletail moved into the Elder's Den after her kit's death. Not long afterward, Brightpaw was badly injured by a dog and renamed Lostface, and as she stayed with the Elders temporarily to recover, Fireheart suggested that Speckletail look after the young she-cat, and unbeknownst to her, he told Lostface to look after her. The two she-cats grew close, and Speckletail was likely very proud when the younger she-cat was given her true name, Brightheart. A group of city cats named Blood Clan came to the forest and threatened the clans to leave or fight. Speckletail and the other elders trained for battle, and Speckletail was determined to come along with her clanmates to face the threat, but the clan's new leader, Firestar, ordered her to stay. He put her in charge of the camp, relying on her to bring the kits and other elders to safety if Blood Clan made it there. Thankfully, the clans won the battle, so this wasn't necessary. Speckletail's retirement had its peaceful moments, relaxing with the other elders and being taken care of by the clan's apprentices, but there were also troubled times. Some of Blood Clan's remnants bothered ThunderClan, and later on, Two Legs started to destroy the forest. The clans ultimately decided to leave to find a new home, but Speckletail and her clanmate Frostfur chose to stay behind, claiming that they were too old for so much change. Even though there wasn't much of the forest left, it was still their home, and they wished to die there, knowing that StarClan waited for them. They remained behind in the River Clan camp with the other elders Shadepelt and Loudbelly to sit vigil with Mudfur, and wish their clan good hunting before they parted. It is unknown what happened after this, but since Graystripe visited the Old Forest later and found River Clan's territory mostly untouched, it's possible that they lived a peaceful life there until they finally joined StarClan as they had wished. Speckletail has known her share of sorrow in her life, from the loss of her mother at a young age, to most of her kids joining StarClan before her, to seeing the very forest itself crumble around her and watching her clan leave. She's very memorable for her sharp tongue and temper, and it's nice to think that she's reunited with her clanmates in StarClan now.